evening, everyone. My name is Sneha, and I welcome you all on behalf of VIBGYOR Group of Schools. We are delighted to have you all today for our webinar on Decoding 21st Century Skills for Early Years. The foundational years of a child is very crucial, and at VIBGYOR, we believe that inculcation of core values, skills, and qualities during these years greatly supplement a child's lifelong journey of learning, collaboration, and empathy. In today's webinar, we are honored to have Dr. Reeta Sonawat, Director Ampersand Group, an esteemed expert in early childhood education with an illustrious career spanning academia, research, and teacher training. She has been instrumental in shaping early learning frameworks across India and globally. We are also honored to have with us Ms. Aanchal Vasandani, Senior Vice President, Content, VIBGYOR Group of Schools. With her expertise in curriculum development and educational content, she brings valuable perspectives on bridging theory with real-world application. We're going to have an amazing conversation between these two, and they will help us understand points like key factors that shape our child's future success, foundational skills, critical competencies, character qualities essential for thriving in today's evolving world, and so on and so forth. I truly value all your presence today, and I'm confident this session will provide you with helpful and lasting takeaways. So without any further delay, I would like to ask Dr. Reeta and Ms. Aanchal to please take over. Over to you.
Thank you, Sneha. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Decoding 21st Century Skills for Foundational Stage. As Sneha rightly pointed out, our children are growing up in a rapidly changing world. The way we live and work or communicate today is very different from how it was a few years back or a decade ago. In fact, the professions or the jobs that exist today were non-existent even a few years back. Therefore, today's topic for this webinar is very, very essential. Let us understand from our expert, Dr. Reeta Sonawat, how and what skills are required for these children to adapt to this ever-changing or fast-evolving world. Welcome to the webinar, Dr. Reeta Sonawat.
Thank you so much, Aanchal. Thank you, Sneha, for welcoming. It's a great opportunity to meet parents. And you are the real stakeholder, I can say, in education fraternity, because we really want to know you are a parent of 21st century, you have children of 21st century, so we need to give education for 21st century. So our relationship is very, very different than the kind of childhood you had and the kind of life you have dealt in your younger days. Because these children are very different, and I'm sure parents, you agree with me. Thank you.
So can we start, ma'am, with the first
please.
question for today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let us start with how do 21st century skills like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and so on benefit children in these early years? Why is it important to start development of these skills in the early years?
First and foremost important is these children are 21st century children. Okay. And the way we have seen the world is moving, we don't know what kind of skills will be needed, because we have seen in lockdown, there were whatever skills we had, it didn't work. But new skills, we have to adapt so fast, and then we survive because of them. And the skills which you have told, first we need to believe in our children. All these skills are there. Only thing what we need to do is understand it and nurture it. I'll give you the example here. When it comes to the critical thinking, we think so our children, it's a very big term, and children are not going to understand this, or how as a parent you will know that the child is a critical thinker. I'll give you the example of a 2-year-old child who is just getting a accidentally pen in his hand. And then taking out the refill, and then he write with the refill something, he is scribbling with the refill, then he keep the refill ahead, and then without refill, whatever the pen is there, he is scribbling with that, and then you say it's not coming out. That is a time he thinks that whatever the writing is happening is because of this refill. So he put refill back, put everything back again, and then again he's writing. So nobody is instructing anything. He has not seen anything. But you see, this kind of episodes, you must have seen parents many times in your child's life. It shows that critical thinking they already have. And why Anchal is so much worried about other skills, also communication, because later on what happened, you have to send your child to the Finnish school to learn the communication. Then you have to send the child to collaborate, because there are so many we have seen when we are working in the corporate houses or maybe in the university. What we have seen is there are some people, they like to work alone. They are a loner worker. And there are some who are very good with the team. They like to work with many people together. So from the beginning, if they are trained to collaborate with other children, so that kind of opportunity, if parents you are giving, for example, sometimes you are inviting your child's age mate, 2, 3 friends together, come and visit our house, and then spend the one afternoon or one full day with children, and then see at home how they are collaborating with each other. So this kind of thing is really good for the children. There will be some difficulties, I understand that, because I'll give you the example of here also. uh, One child has the mother has invited 2 children, and then 3 of them they're playing, and she has given lot many toys to them. Okay, you play. And she just went away in another room, and she started working in another room. And when she came back, what she saw in a living room, the whole team, they have decided, we have learned life cycle of the plant. So instead of seed, if so they what the mother has a very beautiful plant in the living room, they remove the plant, put the gun in it, put the they water the plant, and then they were waiting. Now this plant will grow and we will have so many guns. So you see, collaboration can lead to all these things also. But still, I will say, whatever they are doing is a great innovation. Thought Their thoughts are coming out. So it's very important that in early years, if this is a time they are doing these 21st century skills, and UNICEF has given so many skills. UNICEF has given, UNESCO has identified skills. These skills should be developed in foundation stage only. So you need to nurture it as a parent. So later on, you don't have to send them to the specific schools just for learning these skills.
Rightly said, ma'am. If these skills are developed in the early years, they will form the foundation for the lifelong learning. Even at VIBGYOR, we ensure that these skills are developed or nurtured in their day-to-day activities. Like we have the circle time and a lot of group activities where the children collaborate together. And then we have STEAM activities where critical thinking, logical thinking is developed, as well as problem solving. So can we move on to the next question, ma'am?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So, why is it important to nurture these skills in young children rather than waiting until they're older?
Yeah, that is a very good question and connected to the first question, because this is a time when maximum brain development take place. And anything learning is so fast, and then they repeat it in their early years, like till 8 years of age, they repeat it many times. And because of this repetition of this kind of skills, it stays in the brain, and the wiring is strong, and then it remains till the adulthood. So the child who has a quality preschool, the one who has learned self-awareness, empathy, critical thinking, creativity, decision making, problem solving, all these skills they have learned in their early years, then you will be seeing these skills will be there throughout their life. Parents, I know you must be having your husband, some of you must be having your husband. They're dependent on you for so many things. And those skills you have, easily you have got those skills because you have paid attention to that. Parents have paid attention on you. But boys, many times people, they don't pay attention. don't pay attention. So some skills are very difficult for them to see in that age. So I'll give you an example of decision making. We always say what we need to do is we give some choices to the children. Okay, so in parenting, many times experts, they go and they say, you give choices to the children, then they will be able to make decision. But how to give choices? You cannot just, if you are giving choice what to wear, if you are going for the uh, picnic or party or maybe park, so you cannot open the cupboard. What you can do is 3, 4 type of clothes. You think so that they are good and it is suitable wherever you are going. Between the 3, 4, just give the choices. So that kind of choices you need to give. But opening the cupboard, then they will be choosing something and then there will be ruckus at home. So you don't want that ruckus to happen. So like this, slowly, when they are making the decision, you are supporting their decision, then you see the wonders will take place in their life. So that's the reason it's very important. If you nurture this age, then it will stay throughout their life. And we have longitudinal studies also they have supported. It stays.
Absolutely, ma'am. Research actually says that 90% of the brain development happens during this time, and this making these early years a golden window.
Correct.
So very important, as you also mentioned, choice-based learning, very important to for these children at this age, because it encourages them to question, to explore independently.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question, ma'am.
Yeah.
This is connecting these skills to the daily life for parents. How can parents at home support the development of these skills in everyday activities?
It's actually it's quite simple. If we parents just keep in mind, we need to give life skills to the children. Just keep this word in the mind. So whatever you are doing, just take child along with you. Maybe it's uh, uh, from the beginning. If you say child is getting up, then it's important that you should be instead of telling the child, make it a routine that he should be doing his things by himself. So, so child will be aware that I can do by myself, and you will be also aware that child can do by himself. Because if you remember the film Tare Zameen Par, because mother was doing everything to the child. She was combing, she was making child wearing uniform, she was putting the socks on the child, everything she was doing. So she was not doing, knowing what my child can do and what my child cannot do. And that's the reason the child was not identified, the child has a problem. So it's very important as a parent that involve, if you are peeling the peas, so there also you can involve this household, even folding the clothes. So I know the way you fold and the way the child fold is different, but give them the confidence. Oh, you've done a good job, great job. Okay, what you do is put all socks together, put all shirts together. So like this kind of conversation, communication, if is happening at home, then the child will be doing it. So simple things involve children. Even for the birthdays, I've seen nice gift parents they buy for the friends, and then nice packing, and they say, take this packing. With that, that is all right, because we are a social animal, we have to do all these things. That is all right. But what you can do is give a paper to the child and say, you are going for the birthday party, so make a card for the whatever the
Birthday
name of the
child.
child, maybe Ankit or maybe Rachna, whatever the name of the child, make a card, and the child will be making the card. So this handmade card, when the child will make it, it will be valued much more than for you also and for the child also. And I'm sure he'll take pride. I have made this card for you. So that kind of feeling also is very good. So what personally I feel, even for the big decisions, like if you have you're buying something very expensive, and between the two, if you're making the decision, and ask the child, between the two, which one you think so, and if you are not buying that, that's all right. it's not necessary to always listen to the child. Then explain him, this is we are buying because of these qualities. This we are not buying because here we are seeing two qualities are less, and we want to have a good, no, like you want to have a good toy, you also want to have a good whatever the appliance or anything you are buying. So for that we are, so this kind of dialogue is helping children to develop, and these children, they grasp very fast because they're different. So and their brain is also different. So channelize the brain in these skills will help this child for the longer.
Very practical tips, ma'am. Definitely, I think involving children in day-to-day works or tasks at home and these simple routines can become opportunities for them to develop creativity, collaboration, and communication skills.
Yeah.
So, next question, ma'am. Can you share simple age-appropriate activities that parents can do at home to help their children think critically and solve problems?
Uh, Actually, uh, anything which is happening at home, like if you are doing uh, uh, making cooking, if you're doing cooking, so children, they have learned far less cooking at school. Now at home is with fire. So when you are doing cooking, they also want to participate in that. So what you can do is give some dove to the child and tell the child, like what you can do is you take this and make nice bird, or am I there or I am left?
Yes, you're there, ma'am. You're there. Can you see
Okay.
us?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So like this, you can involve in a cooking process or whatever they have made, but see to it that if you can bake it, bake it. If you can fry it, fry it. Whatever you can make, but keep that thing on the table, because many times it happens like we ask them to do something, but we don't go till the finish, and child is not seeing at the end what is happening. Maybe in this age, what we say is um, uh, this process is more important than product. So parents, we are interested in child's process, how the child is dealing with things. So the problems with children, they are having, they are very simple, like they are not engaged. So they're irritated, or they do something uh, which is not accepted. Like nowadays, the screen is a big issue. So when you are busy, then they think, so this is the time to go to the screen. So this kind of thing which is happening now, this is a big problem. And screen is not just, I'll say, watching, but screen is what they want to watch. That's more important. I'll give the example here. This is this problem, how to solve, we will be working on it. So when the child is on the screen and uh, they're traveling and they're sitting at the station or airport, so and coming from the grandmother's house, so the mother wants child to talk to the grandmother. So she is showing the mobile key, talk to the grandmother. But here the issue is, child doesn't want to talk to the grandmother. He wants to see his cartoon. So the screen is given with the cartoon. He is watching, and grandmother comes. He says, "No, I don't want. No, no, no." And he is decided not to have. Now in such situation, what to do? Because children, when they say no, they are screaming, they are shouting, they are crying. All these things happen, and then you feel bad because of a surrounding. Everybody is watching. Everybody. Don't worry about that. Only thing is, in such situation, you calm yourself. First thing is you calm yourself. And then slowly you said, okay, if you don't want to talk to the grandmother, then give the mobile to me, because this is the time to talk to grandmother. And if you are not talking, then give mobile to me. We will be seeing it later. Okay, very softly, but he will be screaming because he's not listening to you. Whatever you are saying, it is not even, you are saying, it is not reaching to the child. I am very well aware. So you can say, you are screaming, and saying, and I'm not able to understand what you are saying. So you need to first lower down your voice. I want to listen to you. You go soft, more soft. I want to listen to you. So you need to first come down. And once he comes down, in the process of coming down, he has forgotten for what he was making the scene. So this is how the child is. Their emotions are very fast, go from one to another, and even the stubbornness also can be directed to um, other ways. But you need to first work on yourself. That is more important.
Lovely examples, ma'am. As you correctly pointed out, social emotional skills are also very important skills for the 21st century. These will definitely help them to adapt to this fast changing world. Otherwise, they will not be able to adapt, and again, these tantrums will lead to bigger problems in future. So, I think also we can highlight here one important point, that is importance of free play or unstructured play at home. So, can you just elaborate on that, ma'am, for parents?
Until one interesting thing, 33 parents are here, so I can say most of the parents, as soon as you announce the holidays, the first thing is in their mind is how to take care of the child. Many of them, they go to for the holidays because child has a holiday, so we will also make a holiday, and they go easy to take care of the child in other place rather than at home. But it's home is a home, and if the child has a habit of staying at home and engaging themselves, the most important thing is you need to plan for the child. And for that planning, what you should be planning is some creative activities. Because creative activities in which cutting, pasting is involved, and the longer process involved, then you will be seeing the child is busy in the creative activity, and then he will not be bothered to you. And in the process, he will be making nice things, and those things it's made by the child, so you can showcase those things. Maybe you can make a corner for the child, and whatever the child has done today's date, and that date whatever child has made, showcase it, and you see the pride the child will take. And if your people are visiting your house, you can show them also that this is what the child has done. So corner is helping showcasing. Apart from that, the corner, my place. So wherever his toys are there, it's his place. So at home also, we need to give his space or his place, and let him have a belongingness towards his place. So taking out the things, putting things back, and with that, make it a point that evening time, which is very difficult for a child to be at home, especially 5 to 7. So this is a time when the holidays are there, or child is at home. 5 to 7, make it a point to go to the park, or if you're going for the shopping, take the child for the shopping, and even mall. If you're going, take the child to the mall. Why I'm saying mall specifically? Because I've seen some of the parents, they have a problem because a child wants to buy something, and he's stubborn to buy that particular thing. So before you go to the mall, you can have a dialogue with the child. It's very important that you need to have a communication with the child, that you will be buying one thing that is decided. So whatever you are choosing another thing, then first thing you will be keeping back and take another thing. And you will be surprised at the end, child is buying only chocolate, which is kept in the this cash corner. Rest of the thing go back. So he is buying, he's taking things, but he is putting again back and back. And like this, you're making the child responsible also. So we need to plan. We cannot have day and all days same way. So free activity needs to also be planned. So environment you plan and give the child freedom. So that is what is the concept of the free activity.
A very important point you mentioned earlier, ma'am, which I want to just reiterate, that parents should focus on the process and not the end product. So that is one important takeaway for them. And I think what you just mentioned, that we should give them the creative space and let them then express themselves freely and creatively. That will actually bring out all these important skills in them. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. This is related to now communication and collaboration. How can parents encourage children to express themselves confidently and learn to work and share with others? I think important point, parents are worried my child doesn't want to share anything with others.
See, this is a very important point, and our national curriculum framework. If parents, you have a chance to read, please read it, because nowadays there will be a lot of responsibility on parents when it comes to the taking care of the children. So here, when we are thinking of giving the responsibility to the child, that is a time in National Curriculum Framework, they are saying if the child has learned something, and whatever he has learned, if he is talking about it at home, or with the neighbors, or maybe with the society, maybe with the maid, maybe with anybody, that is called prasar. So knowledge needs to have an extension, and the more the extension is taking place, it means the knowledge is which is there with the child, it is permanent with the child. So that is what is mentioned here. So we parents, I'm also there. We parents, we really don't have good ears to listen to the child, because child takes long time to talk about the whole thing, which in the beginning only you understand what he wants to say, and because you understand what he wants to say, you are not ready to listen to the last, till last he's going, because he's in between repeating, he's in between going somewhere else. But give chance to the child to talk, and need to have a really real communication, because I've seen it's a very interesting communication between the parent and a child. The child has made a circle. So this example I give in the school also. So the teacher has asked what you have made. So child is saying, I made a dosa. So naturally the teacher has asked, oh, so you love dosa? This whatever the children they make, we think the children they love, so they are making it. He said, I hate dosa, and my mother every day feed me dosa, and I don't like it. See? So parents, give chance to the children to talk, and sometimes you will be knowing some wonderful things which are coming to the child. One of the child said, Mama, don't see my report card. Why are you so worried about my report card? My teacher said she is there in the nursery class from last 7 years. So she is in the same class. So why you worried so much about it? So children are children. Listen to that, and your this anecdote you share with the teachers. They will also be empowered. So it's a beautiful stage, and enjoy this journey to rear the child and
Very
communicate
well.
with the child.
Very well put, ma'am. So I think parents can also do a lot of reading and storytelling activities with the children where they will learn to then express themselves, and a lot of cooperative games at home with the children.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next question. What are some of the ways that parents can nurture creativity at home without imposing too many rules or pressure?
See, creativity means no rules, no pressure, and the child is thinking out of box. That is what is originality, elaboration. These are the characteristics of the creativity. So now festive time. So when you are whatever you are doing, if you are making a garland at home, then give him also to make it and use it the way you are using yours. Use his also. You are making rangoli, give him to make somewhere in a corner to make rangoli. So what I'm trying to say here is, whatever you are doing, you involve child, and you see like this, the creativity will nurture. And it's not actually I know some of the children, parents have never taken care of this creative activity, or for them the fine art was not very important. Both the parents were engineer by profession. So the child used to bring his artwork, and they have never appreciated, and the child was bringing the plain paper, so that was also okay with the parents. They've never nurtured this creativity in children. And then when the child has got the admission in engineering college, the first year he has to do graphics, and there to do graphic was very tough for him. So we don't know when the art or creativity will come in his life. uh, so it's a everybody should have this some part of the creativity, because then later on everywhere it is needed. Maybe when you're arranging your table for the work, for that also creativity is needed. And nowadays I've seen in some of the corporate houses, the beautifully they organize their table, their family photographs and a child photograph, beautifully they organize, and it looks so beautiful. So it's a part of life. So nurture creativity, give them opportunities, and use their creative work. So that's it should not be just some of the parents I've seen, when the child is taking the creative work at home, on the way only the work is flying. So it should not happen that way. We as a parent also need to be um, really respecting child's work, and giving a lot of importance to his work. That's very important.
Exactly. I think as parents, we should nurture their creativity. But so often, as parents, we worry about why the child is not drawing the right way, why is not the child not coloring the carrot orange, why is he coloring some other color? And sometimes we end up giving so many instructions or expecting a perfect result. And I think this actually then kills their creativity.
Nee, Anchal, rightly you said. With that, I remember one thing. Once the child was coloring tomato blue in color. So, so the teacher said, "Why you have made tomato blue in color?" So we don't ask this question. Parents, we need to ask this question to the child: why you are coloring blue in tomato? The child replied, "I just wanted to see if tomato is blue in color, how they will look." Now you see, if he would not have done that, we would not have known the mind of the child. And creative activity is a activity by which we can understand the mind of the child. Because for them, the language,
Express, yeah, expression,
yeah,
self expression.
yes, it's true.
Okay. Another important 21st century skills, social emotional skills. So, ma'am, how do traits like confidence, empathy, and resilience help children build the skills they need for the future?
Actually, sometimes I feel they are born with the empathy, and we, in the socialization process, it goes. Because when the mother is in pain, child is the first person who stays with the mother till she is out of pain, and his expression are quite close to the mother's expression. It's, what can be the better example of empathy than this? So I sometimes I feel the child has empathy, but in the socialization process, and we have not given the importance to the emotions and emotional development, because we have a lot of rules and regulation, and behave this way, the social norms, social practices, all these things we have given a lot of importance, but child's social development, even for that matter, emotional development, we never thought. When the child is 2 and 3 year old, whenever we used to socialize, we used to go to our friend's place. We never thought there what child will be doing, his child's age mate is there or not, or what the child will doing when we were talking. So these things we never even paid attention. And sometimes I really feel this area is very much neglected, both places. I'll say even in school as well as at home also. Some we are sensitive, no doubt about it. But when it comes to emotional expression, we are reacting, but not responding to the emotion. So we need to learn to respond to the emotion. We need to learn to the give right language to the emotion. This English people have taught me, like when Aanchal asks me, "How are you?" I always say, "I'm fine, thank you, Aanchal," because we have learned. Maybe from inside I'm irritated, frustrated, or sad for some reason. But what I have learned is say, "Fine, thank you." Why can't we say, "I'm little irritated, Aanchal. You know what happened," and then I can tell her what has happened. So we have never given the language of the emotion to the children. So children are also using body much more rather than the emotional language. And we want them to use their body less and emotional language more. So for that, we need to really work more on parenting.
True, ma'am. Even at VIBGYOR, because we know emotional regulation has to start from the early years, we have a lot of activities. We have a lot of story-based learning for them where we introduce values which include even empathy, kindness, sharing, all of that, and activities wherein they learn to listen to others, share their own feelings, express self-expression activities, and so on. Also, activities like taking care of plants, taking care of pets, and sharing toys with their peers. Very important. I think parents can also have a good takeaway and use these same strategies at home for the children.
Yes. And having a pet at home is also helps a lot. Maybe it's not necessarily you can have any pet which, according to your home size, or I'm not saying need to have a dog or a cat only, but any pet, because children they like uh, they feel very responsible if the pet is at home. And nowadays it works as a therapy also to the children because they show their um, emotions to the pet much more than the human being.
Okay, ma'am, the next question. What role can parents play to complement the learning and experience the children have at VIBGYOR?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So, what roles can parents play to
Hmm.
complement the learning and experience their children have at VIBGYOR? So, at VIBGYOR, we have all these activities that I mentioned. How can parents do the same at home with their children?
I'll say if the parents must not be knowing what is happening in the school because children they don't tell what they have done. So many times it happens maybe once whenever you have a parents meeting or you must be showing what are the activities you are doing, but mostly the parents are not even aware what is happening. And why I ask you to repeat the question, because most of the activities which are done in a school, especially by VIBGYOR, so those activities are the activities which can be easily done at home. So I will never say you need to have expensive toys or educational material for that matter. No, children they love to have realistic things. So at home you can give them the realistic. And what is wrong? Why we are always giving small chakla and belan to the child? They don't like it. They like the big one which you are having, and they like to use that big one. So buy two. What is wrong in that? And let the children make one chapati and ada teda jaisa bhi ban raha hai. So uh, every activity which is done at school can be done at home. Uh, Basically, and some of the activities can be different also. Like if parents, especially mother, if she has some hobbies which she had before marriage and before child, continue with your hobby and give some time to your, maybe if you're working also, give some time to your hobby. Let the child know that the mother is working also and mother is doing this also. So you can become a very good role model that way, that school I study, but at home this different things I do. So that also can work as a like home activity. Uh, Maybe school must be giving some home activity. I'm sure because we
Yes.
always say don't give homework. My homework is very interesting. Parents, you will like it. My homework is give the homework where the say after dinner take a walk in your society for 20 minutes and talk about whatever you have done the whole day. So you talk among yourself, let the child listen, and if the child wants to participate, let him participate. But you should talk to each other. So children, sometimes for children also it's very important that my parents, they talk to each other, because hardly they see them talking to each other. So this kind of activities also socially, emotionally help the child. And this can be so next day when the child come to the school and the free time, he say, my parents were saying like this, the mother was talking like this, the father has said like this. So you will be knowing what is happening, and you'll understand the child better. That is the idea.
Absolutely. So I think very important point, parents are partners in learning. And I
Yes.
think whatever we do in school, the parents can actually replicate the same using the materials that are available at home. They need not go in for fancy or uh, complicated toys.
True. True.
So next question, ma'am. How can parents observe and recognize the development of these skills in their children beyond academics? Because parents are always just focusing on marks. My child can recite numbers 1 to 100. My child knows all the letters of the alphabet. But what about these skills?
Achal, here I will like to say, I'm not giving the example of Vibgyor here, but parents reciting numbers 1 to 100. You'll be seeing in some schools the children are reciting 1 to 100.
Mm.
But what is happening, that is a rote learning. And this rote learning is in the brain, it is making a different neuron connectivity. And when the child is learning conceptually numbers, then they don't know numbers. And that is the reason many of the children, they are facing problem with math, because conceptually they have not understood. So here it's very important that don't worry, and don't send your child for any kind of tuition or anything like that. Don't worry about the academic part of the child. That is taken care by the school. Any school the child is going, that is taken care by the school. But what you should be taking care is the giving life skills to the children, give 21st century to the skill, because we really don't want our children to be such where they have a problem. Because of them, there is a problem in a society. Because of them, they are because of their behavior, they are not even employable. Because of their behavior, they cannot even sit with the relatives. Because of their behavior, they don't go with the parents to attend whatever the programs are taking place at home, or in a relative's place, or maybe friend's place. So that's not good for the child's development. Ultimately, child is a social human being. So you concentrate on the social emotional development of the child, give them the values. Because it's not like uh, anything wrong with the whatever the religious practices you do at home. Do it with the child. Maybe you are putting the diya in the evening. Do it with the child and make him responsible to do it. Okay, today I have kept, but not independently. Means he should be reminding you that ma diya, you have to put diya. Some there are certain rituals, but these rituals have become then questioning. The questioning start, and then they turn into the values. So it's very important, and this is what is lacking. uh, I'm sure so many of the parents are knowing the story which is taking place nowadays in Amitabh Bachchan and that Kaun Banega Crorepati. Why the child is not responsible whatever the child is saying. See, we cannot be talking to the child like this, the kind of language the people are using. No need to talk like this. It's our responsibility to give values to the children and morals to the children. He should be loving the country. He should be loving the society. He should be loving the school. I know if the parents are saying ki, the Achal ma'am is no, very, whatever the adjective they can use, like this, and child will pick up. Child will pick up. You don't know, and then he may use somewhere else. And parents, with that, I will like to tell you, if you are saying at home, my child is very poor in Marathi or very poor in Hindi, the child will be poor in Marathi and poor in Hindi. Because he think it's a matter of pride to be poor in Marathi and poor in Hindi. So we need to be very, very careful with the children, and that's the reason child development is a beautiful subject. Every parent should be knowing about child development.
True. So I think two, three important takeaways from your this answer, ma'am. One was what I liked was I think parents should be role models. What you said, they need to do things in front of the children, and also important part what you mentioned is like the cultural roots. Parents should involve children in what they're doing. Like now, if Diwali is coming in, lighting diyas and so on. So I think these are important takeaways for parents also.
Yes.
Okay, coming to my next question. If parents were to focus on just one thing to support 21st century skills at home, what would you recommend?
Uh, One thing is give time to the child. As much time you can give time to the child. Play with the child, dance with the child, and run with the child, walk with the child. If you are doing activities with the child and be happy, have a positive environment at home, and your happiness should come from your body, internal happiness. You don't have to pretend. We have done a lot of pretension in our office space and everywhere, but at home, don't pretend. Be- and again, I'm taking you to the National Curriculum Framework. It is saying ultimately the education is for anand, is for happiness. So this is what one thing we need to inculcate in the child is happiness, and for that give time to the child.
Very, very important takeaway, I think. Parents need to give a lot of time to their children and ensure there is a happy and a safe environment which is nurturing for the children to grow up as well as develop these 21st century skills. So, with that, I think our questions are done. Sneha, are there any questions by the audience? We can take those up. Sanjana, any questions by the audience? Yes, I think Miss Jaya Vardhan is saying she has a question. Miss Jaya, can you just type
Hi,
it?
yeah. Hi, participants. If you all have any questions, then please leave them in the chat box. Yeah, you can type them in the chat box. Yeah. There we have the first question from Chitra. She's asking how to instill emotional empathy in children.
First is we need to understand the meaning of empathy, because I personally feel it is very loosely used, the term. There is a difference between the sympathy and empathy. So sympathy is you feel bad if somebody is feeling bad, somebody is having some trouble, or had some thing which is not proper, then you also feel bad about it. Okay, and then expressing that I'm so sorry this has happened, but you are not feeling the same. Empathy is very difficult, which I said in my talk also, that children, they have just what we need to nurture and continue whatever the empathy they have. Because empathy means the way the other person is feeling. Other person is sad, you also feel the sad. If other person is irritated, you also feel the same way irritated, so you can understand the other person. And when you understand the other person, that is where you are empathetic. And when you are empathetic, then you see the communication which you are doing is reaching to the other person. Otherwise, as I told you, many times it happens, your communication is not reaching to the child and child's communication is not reaching to the you, because in between there is no understanding between the two. So empathy is developing is for that. First, for most important thing is we need to know the language of the emotions, language of the feelings, and in our day-to-day life, use that language. uh, Child should not be just throwing the thing if he's angry, or pushing somebody if he's angry. He should say, I'm frustrated. I am frustrated. I don't like this. They should say this thing. So at least you know what is happening with the child. And once you know, you are empathetic to the child, and then you can work together with the child. Similarly, if you also use language which is, I'm very sad today, and what has happened in the office, and you tell him this thing has happened in the office, child will be listening to you, and then he will be saying, when this kind of situation is there, you are sad, because that is what when Achal is saying we are developing emotional language in children. They are developing emotional language through stories. You have your stories at home, office stories, relative stories. Tell according to the age of the child, narrate the story, and you see the empathy will develop in the child.
Very good. I think I'll just summarize what you just said, ma'am. I think you just said, first of all, parents need to be role models. They need to express their feelings, label it so that children learn to how to express. Then the second thing you said, through stories. So I think parents can read stories for children that highlight kindness, sharing, helping others. And then the third thing, what you said earlier, that involve them in day-to-day activities at home. So that will also teach them responsibility, compassion. We can
We
take the
have one
next
more
question.
question.
Yeah.
We have one more question, ma'am. Miss Jaya is asking, can you focus on, I'm not sure, it says beating habits of kids these days. Maybe they are hitting, and how to get involved in interlaced brain of a child.
See, when we say beating habits, first step is you need to know in a day how many times it is happening. Huh? You need to have a data with you, because sometimes we say randomly the child once in a week or once in a month beating somebody, say he has a beating habit. So first is you should be knowing in a day how many. If once he is doing, then it's a mild level happening. So which level of beating habit is there? Mild level, moderate level, or severe level? So first we need to identify that, and according to the level, then we need to make a strategy. Like mild level, the strategy is very simple, is uh, hold the child's hand, and then talk to the child, communicate to the child. Hold the hand, because when you are holding the hand of the child, you are connecting with the child. So bodily connection you have formed, and now language connection you are forming with the child, where you are saying, you see, any kind of beating. It's not like I beat the child and said, see, it is paining. That we don't have to do. Many times parents, they do, if something hurt, they beat that place and say, "No, you hurt the child. No, you hurt the child. You're getting beating." The child has learned that. So he's doing that. So first and for most important thing is, if my level is there, hold the child, have a connection with the child, have a eye-to-eye contact with the child, and then tell the child that this is hurting him. It's painful, and not once only. Then after child comes back from school, I came to know from somebody's name. He can tell, Rohan has beaten. And he has beaten to Akanksha, and Akanksha was crying. Do you want Akanksha to cry? No, no. So we should not be. So communication. Moderate level, the communication cannot take place, because now he has gone from the mild level to the moderate level. For moderate level, you need to take a help, where the strategy can be planned for the child at home, where when the child is beating, that time you can put the red mark, red mark, red mark, and when the child is not beating full day, green mark, green mark. So you will say morning, afternoon, evening, night, or maybe 4 to 8 levels you can make, and he has beaten or not beaten. So you can have a strategy like this, and then you will know. So you tell him the red marks, see, so many times you have beaten. So now it will go in his cognition, it is going in his mind. He will see it, and then he'll understand so many times. And if the green is more, they say, so now it is going to the green side. And green side going, it means this Sunday definitely you will be getting ice cream. Yeah. So some of the reward which you can show to the child, or we go to the park, 1 hour we will be playing in the park, or we will take your best friend to the park, something which is doable, but do it if the greens are more. So these are the strategy you can make. And for the severe, if it is there, then it is better to take a help, because then the strategy will be done where the strategy needs to be used by the parents as well as school, and full ecosystem we have to make to help the child. So you need to know which level is the child and take the, then it's a, because it's the severe level, individual child needs to be under, before making the strategy, you need to understand the child, and according to the child, individual strategy has to be planned. So that is a severe level.
So I think one important takeaway what you mentioned, ma'am, was positive reinforcement. Make that chart, what you mentioned. That was a very important takeaway, I think, for parents. And one thing what you said earlier, I think we can just repeat that. You said parents also should that time respond, not react. Be calm.
Yes.
Get to the child's level.
Beautiful insights, Miss Achal and Rita ma'am. These are, as a parent, I really feel these are really something that we parents forget at times, but are something that really we should take care and keep in mind. Parents, do we have any further questions for our speakers? Okay, I think we
We
are
ask
done
them
with
this
the.
time is suitable to them, or what is the time suitable to them for the parenting program. We can ask them if they can say
Okay,
5 to 6 or
parents.
6 to 7.
Okay, so do is the webinar timing 6 to 7 in the evening is suitable for our audiences, or we want a change in the timing? If anybody want to answer,
7 to 8.
7 to 8. Okay.
surely Chitra ma'am will take that into consideration. All right then. With this, we come towards the end of this webinar, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Achal, for helping us to understand key factors that shape our child's future success, foundational skills, critical competencies, and character qualities essential for thriving in today's evolving world. Thank you so much, Dr. Rita, too. Thank you, parents, for joining us today. We hope this webinar has given you meaningful insights into your child's early learning journey. On behalf of VIBGYOR Group of Schools, your participation and engagement means a lot to us. If you have any further questions and if you wish to speak to us, please feel free to reach out to us on +91 600 3700. Before you go, we would love to hear your thoughts. Please take a moment. A feedback form will be shared with you in a link provided. Please fill that form. It will help us create such amazing sessions in the future for you too. Thank you so much once again, all of you. Wish you all a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you so much.
A big thank you to Dr. Reeta Sonawat for sharing her wonderful insights and strategies and practical tips for parents.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.